Hi, in this example we're going to complete a conversion problem, but this is going to be a two-step conversion problem instead of a one-step. The process is the same for a two-step conversion problem as a one-step. We're just going to have to convert twice in a row. So our somewhat contrived example is we need to convert a quarter of a mile, 0.25 miles, into inches. So I'm going to write that down, 0.25 miles, and we're going to convert that into inches. Unfortunately, I do not know how many inches there are in a mile, so I can't come up with a conversion factor to get from a quarter of a mile into inches. However, I do know how many feet there are in a mile, so I can convert from miles to feet, and then go from feet to inches. So we're going to just do that conversion twice. Step one is identify what units we're converting, miles to feet to inches, and then set up equations for each set of units. I know that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile, and I also know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Since we are going to be converting twice, we are going to set up each of those equations. Next, we need to set up our conversion factors for these equations. It's either going to be 5,280 feet per mile or 1 mile per 5,280 feet for our first conversion. And for our second conversion, it's going to be 12 inches per foot or 1 foot per 12 inches. And next up, we actually do the conversion. We're going to write down our initial measurement, 0.25 miles. And since we're going to convert from miles to feet first, we're going to look at the mile to foot conversion factor. Since we need to cancel out miles, we're going to need miles in the denominator and feet in the numerator. So that means we're going to have to use the left conversion factor, 5,280 feet per 1 mile. If we cancel out units, we are going to be left with units of feet. So that's good. We are one step closer to getting our answer in units of inches. So we're going to have to multiply by another conversion factor to get into inches. We have feet in the numerator, so we need to cancel out feet and be left with inches in the numerator. So inches has to be on top, feet is on bottom. That means we have to use that leftmost conversion factor, and we use 12 inches per 1 foot. Again, if we cancel out units, feet divided by feet cancels, and we're left with simply units of inches. Now we're basically done. We just need to multiply out all the numbers. 0.25 times 5,280 times 12, and the units that we're left with are simply inches. We can just plug that into a calculator to then get our final answer. 0.25 times 5,280 times 12 ends up being 15,840. And the units are going to be inches. We are all simplified. We've completed step 4. Now we need to just ensure that the sig figs in our answer are correct, or the same as our original measurement. Our original measurement had only 2 significant digits. That means our final answer has to only have 2 significant digits. So we're going to round to the first 2 sig figs, which means we're rounding in this case to the nearest 1,000. So when we finally put this in the final answer, it's going to be 16,000 inches, or in proper scientific notation, 1.6 times 10 raised to the 4 power inches. And there's a pretty straightforward two-step conversion problem. All we have to do is set up 2 conversion factors and then multiply to cancel out units. Bye.